Oh man, this eclipse season has been such a doozy for me, and it seems like that is just the experience of so many people that are kind of in my world that even if I don't know them personally, that I'm just kind of following along with. And it's just been a wild ride. And I assume that if you clicked on this video, you are really feeling this intense energy as well. And I wanted to jump on here to talk about it a little bit more, to talk about kind of what I have been going through to help you maybe normalize how you have been feeling, and also to give you a little bit of support and guidance around kind of how to navigate this as best as we can. This video is not going to be your typical astrological, like this is what's happening in the cosmos type video. There are tons of videos out there like that, and I really more want to kind of get into like the nitty gritty of like what are we feeling and what it means and what we can do to best support ourselves during this really powerful and transformative time, because it is that. This whole year, 2025, is a hugely and wildly transformative year. And this is not just like the kickoff to that, but like probably the most potent part of that transformation. So there is a reason that you are feeling whatever it is you're going through right now, whatever it is you are feeling. And just again, taking a minute to honor that, to witness that, because it can be tough. It can be really, really challenging. I know that for me, I have had so much brain fog, so much confusion, um, so much exhaustion, lack of clarity, lack of motivation. I don't even know the last time I recorded a video here because I literally could not form like thoughts and words. I know that that sounds crazy. And it's like, of course, I was talking to people and, I have a family and I'm doing other things. I was still meeting with my clients, but that was kind of all I could do. I could not like post things on social. I could not show up on here. There was so much just like nothingness happening in my brain. Um, and because I have done, so much of my own work and I've been on this journey in different ways and different iterations, right? Because like our journeys are kind of like this spiral. So you kind of get through something and then it comes back around in a new way, right? So that's just always how our evolution and growth and expansion looks. So thankfully, because of that knowledge, because of my own experiences, having gone through this before, I was really gentle with myself. And that's really going to be the first and foremost, and probably like the most important thing I want to say to you is be gentle with yourself during this time, okay? There is so much happening around your own transformation that your mind cannot make sense of, right? So much is happening kind of behind the scenes, right? Like at a deep energetic level, a deep cellular level, and we can't make sense of it all, and that's okay. And this is bringing up a ton of stuff, right? Because this whole eclipse season, right? I don't want to get the dates wrong, but I want to say maybe around March 14th ish or whatever day, mid March, was that first South Node lunar eclipse, right? And now we're moving into the North Node solar eclipse about 2-ish weeks later, right? So it's been this whole 2-week window plus some, because that energy builds on the front end, and the energy is going to kind of last even past the March 29th date of this eclipse. So it's like a big window of this really potent energy that is literally designed to just completely rock your world in so many ways, right? The lunar eclipse and that kind of initial part of this season was really like dismantling what no longer serves, what no longer needs to be here, what still needs to be released, what still needs to be healed. And again, the mind, we want to make sense of that. We want to know all the things that we're healing and that we're getting rid of, and like it's just human, right? We want to figure it out and we want to understand. But the most important thing is you can't always understand it. You can't always know. Some of this may be like past life karma stuff. Some of it may be ancestral stuff, right? Like things that you just can't make sense of because you don't know. You don't have like the memory or the awareness of it, right? Like our current human mind in the era that we are living in this like timeline of life, we just don't have access to that, or at least most of us don't. So there's kind of like a level of trust and surrender that must happen in just trusting that whatever needs to be released is released, and trusting that you can do the tangible things that no longer serve you in this moment. And there's so much more, right? There's so much more happening, beneath the hood. And I was thinking, today, sorry, I just paused for a second because I was going to say something. I'm like, I don't even know if I've already said that, right? Like this is just the energy of this season. But there was a day last week where all I could do is sit on my couch, and I kind of was just like staring out into space. And I had only one client call, and she had actually canceled because she was sick. And that's been a really interesting theme. I've had a lot of clients canceling because they have the flu, they're sick, extreme headaches, just things going on. And there's, again, energetically and physically and emotionally, right? Like a lot is happening right now. So again, honoring your journey. And what I want to get back to is, um, there was a time where it would have been very tough and hard for me to sit in the space of like rest, to like sit in the space of I'm going to just sit on my couch and like have some coffee and kind of zone out. I think I watch some like ASMR type videos about Europe, which I love, on YouTube, right? I didn't do anything productive, or at least like productive by modern day Western society standards. And there used to be a part of me not so long ago where I would have judged the crap out of myself for doing that, right? Like, you're not being productive. You don't have clarity. You're not getting the insights. You're not motivated. What's wrong with you, right? Like all this internal dialogue. And again, I'm sharing all this just to kind of normalize this experience for you, because depending on where you are, whatever you're going through right now, whatever your own journey looks like, it always is an invitation to just be more compassionate with ourselves. And really, if you can do that, if you can be with yourself, be compassionate, just kind of love yourself and this journey, no matter how it looks and feels right now, no matter how crazy it is, knowing that there's just a lot shifting for you. And that is going to, again, it's going to bring up things, and it's also going to like completely wipe you out. I was kind of thinking earlier about how, I don't know, obviously, if how many of you have had this experience, but I have two kids, and it's like those very early months of being pregnant, and you are so exhausted because there's so much happening that you're not physically seeing your body change yet, right? Like you don't have a belly yet. There's not really anything that you can kind of notice happening, but there's so much stuff happening deep within you to prepare you for this next part of the evolution, right? And it is exhausting. It takes so much energy. And with the incredibly potent and transformative time that this eclipse season is, it's just like that. It's like I've heard other people describe it as like the cocooning of the caterpillar before they, transform into the butterfly, etc. Like a variety of iterations of that. And it's that. It's like going within, and where humans kind of get stuck is we're not used to that. We're not used to slowing down. We have been so conditioned to push through, power through, to go, go, go. But this season, the energy of this season is really inviting each and every one of us to slow down, to trust, to surrender, to just allow for whatever is kind of karmically being released, whatever is naturally being released, as well as whatever kind of more tangibly, or I should say, whatever you are more aware of that needs to be released or to be let go of, to do so. And really, it's giving yourself the time and the space and whatever it is that you need, right? Quiet, stillness, getting outside, kind of always reconnecting with like what is your body just calling you towards. Again, if it's like me, sitting on the couch and completely zoning out for a day because you just physically and mentally cannot wrap your brain around anything else, like that's okay. Don't judge it. And it doesn't mean that I'm willing to just completely like numb out to this whole season and just kind of let it bypass me, because I want to be as active of a participant as I can be in this process, because there's so much wisdom and juice that's available to all of us when we can kind of slow down and sit with the energy that is being presented for each and every one of us. And again, we are all on our own perfect and unique journeys. And what I'm going through is not going to be the same that you're going through, or what you're going through is not going to be the same as what, your best friend is going through. It's going to hit us in different areas of our life. It is going to show up in different ways. But really, again, giving yourself space and some quiet time to let whatever wants to arise within you. I always say that is really the best practice, because your body knows. Your body holds so much wisdom. And like I said earlier, it's easy for the mind to want to try to make sense of things. And for me, I know that kind of right now, I'm starting to come out of the fog a little bit, and it feels so good. And I actually had tried to record this video a couple of days ago because I was like finally starting to feel like, oh, I can put like thoughts to words and show up here, right? And then literally as I was about to hit play, I had like a repair person show up at my house, so I couldn't record. I'm like, of course, right? Like that's just the energy that we're in right now. So here I am today, but the fog is starting to lift for me. And with that, because I gave myself time and space for whatever I needed, right? And I would be lying if I said like I just let myself kind of be in this flow, because again, I'm human and I have a brain and I have an ego and a mind, and like of course the mind wants to make sense of things, and when it starts getting little pieces of information, it will start trying to like put the puzzle together, and that's just so normal how it works. But for me, what I found was giving myself the space to just be in it, right? Like there were moments where I felt like in a funk, where I felt like almost in a depression, where I was just like, oh my gosh, am I going to, you know, snap out of this, right? But again, because I've done this work and I've been in this before, like I knew that this was just what I needed to go through and what you need to go through and what everyone needs to go through, right? It's like that lack of clarity, that darkness, that I'm just trying to think of another word, but it's like that stillness before everything lights up again and before everything blooms. And the power of this specific eclipse, and I love that other people have kind of talked about it in this way, is, oftentimes with new moons, it's, we're always like setting intentions for the month, setting intentions for the next, chapter. We're setting intentions for just like, show me kind of what the next step on the path is. Whereas this new moon solar eclipse on the North Node is like, scratch all that. This is a brand new road. This is a brand new book, right? It's not just the next step. It's not just the next chapter. It's like what everything that needed to dissolve, because now you're like jumping to this point and it is more aligned with your truth. It is more aligned with your highest potentials. It is more aligned with the deeper purpose that you came here to experience in your life. And that's why it's so important to give yourself that space, because again, we don't know what that looks like. And for me, as I said, I'm kind of coming out of this fog and I'm getting these like little bits of clarity and insight. I am also taking it really slow. I personally feel like I am in a very big shift right now, yet I can't fully see it. Okay. And maybe just even feeling into that for yourself. Sorry, I have my legs crossed, my foot's falling asleep. Where it's like I trust. I mean, trust is like, it's bigger than trust. It's like I just know that there is something unfolding, but I'm still just like in the unfolding phase. I mean, maybe even only like one flap has been lifted up. Like if we're thinking of like something unfolding, it's so new. And so I'm not personally ready yet to act on some of these like insights or things that are coming in for me, because I feel like there's still so much to be revealed. And that really is another incredibly important part of this specific season, is trusting the process of not trying to make sense of it right away, not trying to act on it right away, making sure it really feels super aligned. And again, just like kind of allowing things to be revealed as they're meant to. And I feel like I'll keep saying it a million times, but not trying to make sense of it. And that is really why I'm trying so hard to like really slow down. Again, I still get caught up in like, that's interesting. Like when these like, all this noise is kind of coming in, wanting to make sense of it, wanting to know what the next step is. And I know that just like all the pieces aren't there yet. Like it just hasn't been fully revealed. And who am I to know when that will be? And who am I to force that, right? There is so much more happening in the background behind the scenes, but I trust and I know that it is for my highest good and the highest good of all of everything. And I know that everything is happening for me, and I know that everything is happening for you. I know that everything is unfolding exactly as it is meant to, for you, for your highest good as well. So again, just being really compassionate with yourself, being really gentle with yourself, not judging, I know it's so easy to like, again, speaking for myself in my own experience, like I can get really frustrated when like I love being motivated about something and excited and being in action and being creative. Like I just love that, right? Who doesn't love feeling that way? So when I don't feel that way, I can definitely be like, when is this going to end, right? When am I going to be on the other side of it? When am I going to be out of it? And I know from experience that the more I sit in the energy of when am I going to be through this, the longer it takes. When instead I just surrender to, this is the energy that's presenting right now. This is, like I'm being called to slow down. I'm being called to just be in it, right? That's when whatever needs to be released, whatever needs to kind of be worked through works through in a way that feels so much easier, right? It's like we almost put so much of our own resistance, on the situation, and that just makes it stick around so much longer. So, again, just allowing whatever, wants to move through you. If you're frustrated about it, be frustrated, right? But don't linger in that. If there's grief or sadness, I know the other day again, it was like this sadness and this kind of grief came over me for nothing real, like nothing I could really like make sense of. But again, it feels just like I'm going through like a shift that I can't see. And it was almost like grief for this part of me that I'm moving on from, even though, again, like logically, or like I can't fully grasp what that looks like or what that means for me. But I still recognize the emotion being there. Does that make sense? So, again, just like being a witness to everything that is going on, being a witness to whatever is arising in you. I know for me right now, I am being like nudged in some kind of different directions in a way. Trusting that, trusting those nudges, trusting what's coming up for you. Um, I've had some like random memories or like childhood things that I never even really thought of it as like a wound. People talk about like wounds and inner child healing, and sometimes it's something as simple as right, sometimes it's something as simple as the memory comes up and you don't have to do all this work around it, but this is the energy, and I'm bringing it up right now because like this is the energy of this season. So it's like a memory comes up, and for some reason, not for some reason, right, like Chiron is in the mix. Chiron is wounded healer, right? For some reason today, in this moment, tomorrow in the shower, driving to pick your kids up from school, whatever it is, you have a new perspective. You see a situation in a different way. You release something from that situation. You release guilt or shame or frustration or anger or whatever it is, right? And like that, it's just healed, right? Maybe it's not even something you realize that you were hanging on to. But again, often what I see with many of my clients, and myself included, it's like some of these like most seemingly insignificant random memories come up, and they have the power to literally heal and shift something major and significant inside of you. Okay, so like again, that is the energy we're in. Trust yourself. Okay, so I don't want to make this too long. We're about 23 minutes, and I just kind of want to recap how to support you, how you can support yourself during this time. Slowing down, right? Honoring where you are. Okay, not trying to force yourself to get out of any funk that you might be feeling in, or force clarity or force knowing, right? Just allowing yourself to be in it. And when you allow, right, when you surrender to what's going on and you allow yourself to be in this moment, noticing what may arise. Maybe nothing does, right? Again, we're not trying to force, we're just like organically being with whatever is being presented to us. Um, being out in nature, journaling, meditating, doing things that, again, just allow you to be really grounded in this moment. And then, when and if any insights come up, any memories, any stories, and you're like, that's interesting that that's coming up. What is here? What did I not realize before? What do I need to know now? What, again, kind of asking yourself this series of questions, because Mercury is in retrograde. And Mercury being retrograde is all about like reviewing things, having things be revealed. So it's not an accident that certain things are coming up for you, right? So sit with those things, sit with them and see, that's so interesting. I didn't see it in that way before. I know another thing for me that came up earlier this week was something that I had done so much inner work and healing around. And it wasn't, like a major trauma, but it was something that like I've really carried, and I've done so much work around it. And I thought I'd like moved on and it wasn't a big deal. And literally driving to pick up my kids this week from school, like the idea came up, and it was like simultaneously I just had an epiphany about it, like a totally new perspective. I saw how deeply like I was kind of carrying this around so unconsciously, right? And just because of that, just because of the awareness that was brought to it, just because I was able to see it with a new perspective, thanks to Mercury, thanks to Chiron, right? I was able to let it go. And who knows, maybe it will circle back around, on this like growth spiral that we're all on. But again, there's so much work. There's so much talk and noise and conversation around like healing and inner child work and shadow work. And I love all of that. Believe me, I do that with my clients, I do that with myself. And then sometimes it just happens like that. Sometimes the shift just happens. Sometimes you're just driving to pick up your kids from school and you have a new level of awareness. And simply through that new awareness, it lifts and heals and shifts. Okay, so don't discount those things. And lastly, not trying to make sense of everything right now. There is so much going on. Again, Mercury is up in the mix. There is going to be just a lot of information coming at you, coming through you, coming up in you, right? Just taking it one step at a time, letting it be revealed, really surrendering to this moment, surrendering to your highest path. Like, sorry, excuse me. And I think the biggest thing for me is, again, in this kind of shift and pivot that I'm feeling, knowing that, timing is everything. And truly, truly, sometimes, not sometimes, like things just run their course, right? Seasons, jobs, people, whatever it may be, right? And sometimes it's just allowing yourself to say, I don't know what's best for me. I don't know what the best path forward looks like, but I'm trusting that it is being revealed. I am surrendering to the greatest unfolding. And there is so much like peace and joy that comes along with simply being able to do that. So that is my greatest invitation for you during this season, is really just kind of, being a witness to what no longer feels aligned for you in your life, even if you don't know what the next most aligned thing looks like, just trusting that it will be revealed to you exactly when it is meant to. With that, I am sending you so much love this season. Um, yes, I don't know when I'll do the next video. I'm kind of taking a little bit, again, I'm just taking my time. I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus from social media. I'm going to try to show up here a little bit when I feel called, when it feels aligned. But this is a really huge, again, pivotal, transformative moment for each and every one of us. And I really want to like be in the presence of that and allow whatever wants to come through when I don't feel bogged down. Bogged down is maybe not the right word, but maybe there's some interesting truth in my choice in saying that. But when I don't feel like I need to show up just to show up. So again, sending you so much love. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you are experiencing during this eclipse season. I know it is a wild ride, and I am still meeting one-on-one with clients. So if you are curious about, booking a session with me, I'll leave the information below for you to do that. And again, hope you have a beautiful day. Sending you so much love. Take care.